Running a racing series is no cakewalk, and I've got a high-profile example to share with you today. Plus, we'll talk PA Speedweek, World of Outlaws Late Models, Summer Nationals, and more. Let's go. It's Tuesday, June 27th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. A couple of housekeeping notes off the top today. We're getting ever closer to the goal of 25,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of 2023. We just recently went over 19,000. If you aren't yet subscribed, hit that button either on YouTube or wherever you listen. That's a free way to help out the channel, and it will make sure you don't miss any future episodes. Also, I mentioned last week that I was working on starting a new email newsletter to feature some fun content from other writers and creators. And the first edition of that will go out probably tomorrow. If you want to be included on that email list, you can sign up at dirttracker.com/newsletter or click the link below in the video description. That email list currently has around 1,600 subscribers, and I figured we were well past due in doing something cool for those folks. If you want to contribute to a future edition of the newsletter, shoot me a DM or email. All right, let's get into today's show. Looking around dirt racing as a whole, with so many different series running and available, it might appear as though running a traveling series couldn't be all that difficult. But let me assure you, it most definitely is. And if you want an example of that, let me point you to the new Hunt the Front Super Dirt series. From the guys who brought you the wildly successful YouTube channel came a new regional Super Late Model series this year. Southern racetrack, some very solid cash for grabs all season, but it has been anything but easy. Just a few days ago, they announced some changes to their schedule for this upcoming weekend, and schedule changes for series happen all the time. They were originally headed for I-75 Raceway and North Georgia Speedway, but have now pivoted to a Saturday co-sanction at Sonoya with the Ultimate Series to go along with a Sunday stop at Duck River. But the two shows at I-75 and North Georgia aren't off because of weather. The North Georgia show got canceled because it conflicts with a local festival. Haven't heard that one before. And officially, I-75 is off because of, quote, undisclosed personal reasons for the track owners, unquote. And there are rumors out there about the future of I-75 and possibly a sale of the facility. An upcoming obstacle course race that was supposed to also be at I-75 for a series called Terrain Race has also been canceled. When you're trying to put a schedule together, these are the types of things you just can't foresee. And to go even further, this isn't the first time this has happened to the Hunt the Front guys this year. The original July 1st date, which has now been changed twice, was originally slated for Boyd Speedway, but that track announced back in April they were shutting down amid a sale to a local construction company. So that's 3 weird cancellations on top of the usual smattering of weather-related issues they've had at places like Alltech and Magnolia and Sonoya. They had to suspend a driver and his dad recently for a confrontation involving series officials, and the dad trying to tear down a series banner. And they had a sizable delay at Why Not when the timing loop went haywire. But this is the type of stuff that you sign up for when you decide to start a series, and keeping all of the balls in the air is no simple feat. Here's hoping things go a little bit smoother for the Hunt the Front guys for the rest of the year. Up in Pennsylvania, Speedweek gets back going again tonight at Grandview. 10,000 to win tonight. The Monday race at Lincoln was rained out. They've moved it to Thursday. That was originally an open date. With 2 races complete and 2 wins to his credit, Anthony Macri is the Speedweek points leader right now over Justin Peck, Danny Dietrich, Tanner Thorson, and Freddie Raymer. Brent Marks, Lucas Wolf, Devin Borden all finished 20th or worse on Sunday at BAPS. They all have work to do for the rest of the week if they're going to try and run Macri down. Rico Abreu was the Grandview winner a year ago during Speedweek, but I would not expect him to make any Speedweek stops this season. He tweeted a few days ago that he's headed for Cedar Lake with the Outlaws after racing over the weekend at Huset's. I'd say that Macri is probably the favorite for tonight, but I'll be curious to see what Tanner Thorson does. He ran well at Grandview last season. He's been solid so far during Speedweek. I also like Justin Peck's chances to grab some wins this week as well. Streaming situation for PA Speedweek, always a bit messy. Multiple services involved, depending on which racetrack. Tonight's show is live over on SprintCarUnlimited.tv if you would like to tune in. After having Monday night off, the World of Outlaws Late Model teams are right back at it tonight as their Midwest swing continues. They've already been to 81 Speedway and Off-Road Speedway, and up next tonight is Mason City Motor Speedway in Iowa. The busy stretch continues tomorrow. They're going to Red River Valley. Friday, they're headed for River Cities, and then Saturday up to I-94. Talked about this yesterday on the Daily, but the championship got tight over the weekend. Chris Madden right now leads Bobby Pierce by just 4 points. Nick Hoffman only 6 points back. And really, if you go down to Brandon Shepard, only 90 points separate the top 7. Tonight's trip to Mason City will be the first for the Outlaws since 2016. Shane Clanton led all 50 laps that night and is seeking his first Outlaw victory since Williams Grove. That was back in August last year. He is coming off a podium on Sunday at Off-Road Speedway. I've talked about Bobby Pierce's success so far this year. He's on a run right now of 16 top 10s in 17 races. That includes 4 victories. But I'm also really impressed this year with what Nick Hoffman has done during this first full late model season. 14 straight top 9 finishes right now. He's third in the standings. He's got a win, and he's only finished outside the top 10 3 times this year. That's the type of consistency you don't normally see from rookie drivers, but obviously Hoffman isn't a typical rookie. Tonight's card at Mason City also includes USRA B mods and hobby stocks, and if you can't get there, you can watch live over on Dirt Vision. Summer Nationals Week 3 gets rolling tonight after those teams had Monday off to regroup after the end of Week 2. The tracks on tap for the next 6 days include Springfield, Adams County, Benton, Paducah, Clarksville, and Lake Cumberland. Brian Shirley and Jason Fager have won the first 2 mini championships. Remember, this Summer Nationals, there's not going to be one overall champion. We're doing multiple kind of week champions. And we'll see who we get to run for the Week 3 title. We've had 6 different late model winners so far. Brian Shirley leads the way with 3 victories. Bobby Pierce and Jason Fager have 2 each. Billy Moyer Jr., Ashton Winger, Stormy Scott all have 1 each as well. On the modified side, we've had 5 different winners in 8 races. Multi-time series champion Mike Harrison tops that win column right now. He has 3. Alan Weiser has 2, and Micah Long, Tyler Nicely, and Austin Becerra all have 1 each. Kyle Steffens currently leads nicely in the standings. This modified championship is still running like it has in the past. They're not doing like the late model side. They're still doing kind of the overall single points champion, but only a driver's certain number of finishes count towards the title. This year it's 12 races. And that's why we see drivers kind of come and go depending on the night and the track being run. I think by the time this is over, the championship will come down to guys like Harrison, Nicely, Weiser, probably Mike McKinney, obviously Steffens. Looking at who we could see racing tonight with the late models, Dirt on Dirt says expected entrants include guys like Frank Heckenass Jr., Billy Moyer Jr., Ashton Winger, Drake Troutman, Mason Oberkramer, and more. Don't forget, all of these Summer National shows can be watched live over on Dirt Vision. This would be a good night if you've got multiple screens. You could kind of double box this thing. Summer Nationals on one side and World of Outlaws late models on the other. That's it for today. I'm headed over to sit in again on Wing Nation with Steve Post, so check that one out around noon Eastern. We're talking to David Gravel and Jeremy Elliott from SprintCarUnlimited.com. Make sure to also check out the streaming schedule today over at DirtTracker.com/watch tonight. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.